Thank you, Eric, for the introduction, because this is really helpful. He's gone over a lot of kind of the behind the scenes of what OTT is, and then I'm really going to go into more of the why and how it applies to us as marketers, right? So Eric has already done a little bit of this, but I just, from a show of hands, I'm going to go through a bunch of logos, and if you use these devices at home, just raise your hand. Netflix, we've already done this, but yes, right? Hulu? Does anyone have Hulu? Okay, awesome. A Roku. Who owns a Roku? Who doesn't own a Roku? All right, so you want to win our prize. And then, has anyone here cut cable and used Sling, Pluto, Crackle? PlayStation View? Okay, so then you are one of our cord cutters in the room. But yes, so this is our, what's coming of the new digital subscription of TV and how you can get a more personalized experience on how you're experiencing TV. So Eric did a great job of introducing that OTT is essentially streaming full episodes of TV anywhere, anytime, whenever we want. It's on-demand viewing. It's a customized experience of being able to engage with TV. So next, I'm going to go over a little bit about how this works. I'm going to talk through a series of people you could probably relate to. So any exhausted working moms in the room like myself? Yeah? Okay. So this is essentially Sally. She is our working mom of 3 kids. Her and her husband have decided that they're going to cut the cord. They just don't have time to just subscribe to TV any longer. And so they have decided that it's a cheaper option, as we've already discussed. And so they experience TV at the end of the day. They've put their kids to bed, and it might be 9:45 before they sit down and they engage with TV. So as marketers, if we're looking to reach those people that essentially want a cheaper option or have cut the cord, then that's why this is important. We've got Bill. Bill is going to be more of our cord extenders, what we call it. He is going to be our working professional who he watches his local news in the morning. He still has cable, but he might be out with his friends on the weekend and he wants to tune into the game. So he uses his app on ESPN to watch live sports while he's out of the house. This could also be my husband who does it at the dinner table when we're out to eat. But that's okay because we have cable at home and then he watches ESPN on his app on his phone. And then you've got Joe. Joe is that freshman at CNU. He's moved into his first apartment and he's never gonna have cable. His parents would like to think it's because he doesn't have time, but it's because he doesn't need it, right? He's got other options now, so he's a cord never, right? He's a cable never. So how does this work? We've got people who cut the cord completely and they watch TV through apps, right? They're going to be subscribing to their Roku and they watch TV 100% on apps, or they have the digital subscriptions like a Sling, Pluto, PlayStation View. And so that's one way that they're consuming this is 100% through apps and digital subscriptions. And then you've got another person like our Bill, who again is using it through apps. And then you've got Joe, who is our, cable never, so to speak, and he is 100% using digital subscriptions too. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So why is this important? Why do we care that these people are using OTT, right? As marketers, why does this matter to us? Well, because if you need to reach a working mom because you want them to buy your cookies and they don't have cable or broadcast, then you have to be in this space. 6 people are cutting the cord every minute. Yes. So the cable penetration in Hampton Roads alone is down to 58%. So if you want to reach these people like a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, you've got to have this, right? Like a Bill, we call these our cord extenders. 50% of OTT users subscribe to both pay TV and stream OTT services. So what does that mean to you as marketers? Well, that's brand lift, right? That's just increased frequency, it's increased awareness because you're able to reach them in that normal space of linear TV, so to speak. And then you're also increasing your frequency with them in the streaming space as well. And then again, you've got your Joes, you've got your cord nevers. They are never going to have a cable subscription. So if you need to reach a younger demographic that might be in this space, you've got to be here. If you want to reach the people, again, that are cutting the cord and no longer have a cable subscription, it's important to be in this space. And lastly, we're on the peninsula, so I feel like it's important to focus on the fact that if you have a peninsula-based business only, or you are over on the south side and you need to reach only people that maybe live in Virginia Beach, OTT can do that for you because we know where you're located, and so we can target specifically on geographic locations within Hampton Roads or the United States for that matter. If you go all over the United States and you want to reach people in different markets, we can do that for you because it's a digital-based service. Yes? We can do it by income. Yes, we can. Any other questions on why this is important as marketers? I mean, obviously, as more people move into this space, it makes sense to understand how we can use it. So I'm going to kind of just go through a couple client examples. Yes?
So, like Facebook.
Okay.
Can you all do the thing where you can actually see where people are demographically, geographically, as well as demographically?
We can. So geographically is because it is based off of the essential IP address of a home. So when we think about these services, it's a really good question, because when we think about these services, the majority of the people that are consuming these services are on connected TV. So that means that they're at home, they have their digital subscriptions, they have Hulu, they have a Roku. So they're at home, they have sat down to engage in TV at home. So the majority of it is going to be that IP address for that home, and so we know where they're centrally located. But in the sense where you're out and maybe you live in Hampton, but you're in Virginia Beach at the bar and you're watching ESPN, we now know you're in Virginia Beach based on the location of your device. Exactly. So we can pick up the device, whether it's your phone or whether it's your house. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that was my next question. It's going to be follow people on their devices.
Exactly. Right. So it's kind of twofold because it's very much a device-driven product when we need it to be, but it also resonates with the IP address of the home as well. Perfect? Okay. So that was a great question, and it kind of leads into talking about hospitality business, like cookies. But let's just say you right now only have one location and you're still only focused on peninsula-based business because you have to deliver these cookies, right? So it would be very important to you to want to reach women who are engaging in OTT at their house because they have nothing else to watch TV with. And we would target Hampton Roads, the peninsula only, and then women 35 plus for you so that you can service just that audience that you want to reach. And again, we know that because it's a digital-based product, and we know the behaviors in which they're interacting. So we would focus on the peninsula part of Hampton Roads only and service women 35 plus.
How do you know the specifics on them again? So how did you know the 35-year-old woman is that person? Because of her tendencies?
Right, her behavior. Mm-hmm. Correct.
So where are you pulling those behaviors from?
So a lot of that comes from the device in which is attached to the IP address. And if you want to learn more about it, see me after and we can talk a little bit more one-on-one. Does that sound good? Perfect. Okay, so the second scenario is kind of thinking about a financial institution that may want to sell life insurance at a younger age, or really looking after that younger demographic. And you have multiple locations all over Hampton Roads, so you don't necessarily need to segment your geographic location, but you want to reach that younger demographic. Again, maybe those cable nevers, they're never going to have cable. So this is going to be an important space for you because you want to target the entire area of Hampton Roads, and you want to reach people that are engaging in Sling, Pluto, PlayStation View, what have you. Any questions? Anybody want to give me a scenario and we can talk through what would make sense for you as a business, or does this kind of work so far in terms of what we've talked about? You have a question? Yeah. Okay.
So if I want to target the traditional family of 4
Okay.
or 5 vacationing in the Virginia Beach area,
Okay, so you're reaching vacationers. Okay.
right, and I want to target them via their phone,
Okay.
would you be able to do that? Rather than Facebook. I mean, I'm just trying to look at alternative ways rather than the typical social media aspect of it, depending on.
Right. So my marketing hat tells me there may be other good solutions for that as well. But to answer your question, yes. people that are engaging in TV viewing on apps, if they were here vacationing, yes, I could. Right. But I want to also think about behaviors of people and what they're doing on vacation. So, but yes, I mean, if a person was here out of town and they went to their Food Network app to watch a full episode of the Food Network on their phone, yes, we could reach them.
What about the opposite of that, that they're in Wisconsin watching that show and they want to be promoted to go to Oceanfront? Can you do the opposite of that scenario?
We can reach Wisconsin. We could.
That's more what you're saying, right?
Yeah, well, I was thinking sand soccer tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 50 or 100,000 people
Sure.
here for the sand soccer tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to advertise to those who are going to be watching Athena, whatever's
Sure.
going on internationally,
Right.
which I know they're going to be there. If I can then throw my company out in front of them,
Mm-hmm.
when the kid between the soccer games down watching the Athena thing
Sure.
overseas, really narrowing it down to him.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm going.
Sure. So I'm going to answer your question with yes, we can reach people who are watching full episodes of TV on their mobile devices, but let's talk after. How about that? Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go into true false, so everybody has to play. So Eric has touched on how many people are using this space, and I've already thrown out one statistic. So true or false, 205 million OTT users are using this nationwide, which has surpassed cable subscriptions. True or false? True? True? Yes. It is 100% true. I already mentioned cable penetration in this market is down to 58%. So with that being said, if they're not watching cable, then they're watching other things, right? That also has to do with the fact that you can get broadcast TV essentially without cable, so you still get your local news without needing cable. But again, it's because it's cheaper. It's because people are just finding other options now to engage with their TV. All right, so if I said 73% of people who stream are watching ad-supported videos, what would you say, true or false? It is, it's true. So it's great that Eric touched a lot on Netflix because Netflix is leading the charge, but it's great for us as marketers because 73% of people want to see ads. They don't care. People watch Hulu, right? But they pay less for their Hulu subscription to see ads because we've been conditioned to see ads our entire life. So we don't necessarily care to pay more to not watch the ads. So if 73% of people who are streaming are watching ad-supported videos, that means that as they stream, they're going to see our commercials. Okay, so this is going to be important for our cord extenders, right? By combining OTT with linear TV like broadcast, companies are seeing lift in brand, more awareness, more frequency. True or false? True. Correct. So this space is important because if you're wanting to reach more people, kind of extend on maybe a linear campaign, whether that's TV or radio, it's just going to increase your chances of reaching more people because there's more people in the space. Okay. So Eric touched on the audience that's using this. 81% of people who use OTT are actually adults 18 to 54. True or false? It is true. And what you will find is that this number continues to grow in terms of the older generation that's also using this. And I think that has a lot to do because of the cord extenders. There's a lot of people like my parents, don't tell them I said this, but they are a little bit older and they also do both, right? So that older generation, even though they've had cable their whole life, are learning that now they can do things as well, right? They can have cable and a Roku. They can have cable and blank. So they can watch apps on their TV kind of thing. So, and lastly, the majority of streaming happens on a connected TV. I've already said this. True. That's right. So even though people are using their mobile devices or tablet, this is really designed to essentially be that same space as cable and broadcast has always been, to reach people that are now just watching TV a little differently and are connecting in the space through digital products. Any questions on any of these facts? Anything? No? Okay. Sorry, I thought I was. Okay. So what should we do, right? We've learned a lot about OTT today. It's growing. It's being used more now than ever. So what should you do? Well, first, we want to identify who your audience is because that's important, right? Jenny, with your cookies, you're probably trying to reach men or women. Jay, with Patriotic Excursions, you might be trying to reach a younger demographic. outside of families as they're visiting, right? So we want to identify who is your audience. Now, where are they located? If you want to be all over the market, then that might be all of Hampton Roads, or it might just be in whatever location your business is in. And then, of course, what is your message? I mean, that's important with any marketing campaign is obviously what do you want to tell these people? How do you want them to respond? So these are all things that we can help you with. And this is my contact information. If you want to write it down, I do have business cards, and I'll be around for a little while if you have questions. But, Zach, you have one now, so what is it?
So are the ads 30-second commercials like?
It is, yep. Great question. So most OTT streaming services support 15s, 30s, and 60s. So the pods are shorter. For some of you that have engaged, you might have noticed this, and commercial break within streaming services. It's a shorter time frame. So you might only have like 2 or 3 commercials, and then the show comes back on, and then you'll have 2 or 3 commercials. So they don't support anything longer than a 60 because sometimes the breaks aren't longer than a minute. So they can't do any more than that. Yes?
Do you find that there's click-through on this? Like, I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, whether it's possible, or people just see it. Is it like TV where you see it and you move on, or is there, like, click-through options, tracking, like, in that respect?
So there is, and that's a great question. So it's not sold as a clickable feature because, again, you really want people to be engaging in it like they've engaged with TV their whole life, and we've never been able to click on TV. So it's not sold with the thought of, oh, I'm going to see this ad and I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to click right then. And a lot of times with a TV, I mean, you can't click anyway. But yes, it has a clickable feature if you'd like, and it can click on the connected TV if you'd like for it to. But the ads are non-skippable, which is another great feature about this. So you essentially have to watch the full length of the ad, or you turn the TV off. That's really the only way that you would miss the ad at this point. So we do find that on some of like the live sporting events that we do can air on, or some of the people that engage on like a tablet or mobile, that people will click, but that's very rare. So you're welcome. Yes.
So with Facebook making their own TV shows, and also you watch video on your phone, it's the second thing on your phone. How do you feel that's going to affect this, or is Facebook included in this? And I'm just not.
I don't think anything's going to really affect OTT in the sense that people are going to always want to stream their TV. They're going to always want to watch TV. I mean, they're going to always want to know who got kicked off The Bachelor. They're going to always want to watch Survivor. They're going to, at my house, it's Guys Grocery Games. I don't know about y'all, but we're like obsessed with Triple G. So, I mean, people are going to always want to watch what they like, right? So nothing's going to ever replace TV. It's just changing. So this is going to be a space all on its own because people are just going to figure out different ways to consume the TV they like. And that's why it's important as marketers to know how to reach those people. OTT is 100% based on the audience and not the program. So for you, if you're trying to reach a woman that wants to rent a home, then we find women in a geographic location based on what she's watching at any given time. It doesn't necessarily mean, she's not on Facebook. It just means we're following her as she's consuming TV. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Yes?
Oh, I was going to say, is this keyword, like, so again, I'm kind of thinking like keywords and like search. It's not search
No.
driven, right?
No.
So you can't find people who search for like X keyword and deliver this. It's more like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to like think it through as I talk.
Yeah.
You answered my question saying, no, it's not that. It's more like tied to like trends of viewership for that IP address,
Sure.
location, that kind of.
Yeah, it has a lot to do also with the device that's attached to the home within the IP address, kind of picking up on the behavior of that device and then attaching it back to the same IP address, and then understanding that that same person is probably watching that TV. So recognizing that if you're a woman and you're looking at a lot of fashion and now you're at home and it's attached to that IP address, then the TV is going to understand as you stream that you're a female because of how it's connected back to the IP address. I know, it's really scary. It's like Big Brother, I know. You're going to be like deleting your phone or something. You're like, you can't find me anymore, send a dove.
How
Yes.
specific is the geolocation? Is it like block to block? Is it zip code? Is it area?
It's zip code. Yep. So we can reach particular zips. And so the best way to do that in terms of next steps is to say, hey, this is the audience that I want to reach. This is who they look like. This is where they're located. And then we can actually find for you like the amount of people that are consuming the space within that particular zip code. And it's kind of based on real time because we know who's engaging in the space, obviously. But yes, it's very much, it's zip code driven. I mean, there's other ways. We're all marketers, right? There's other ways to get down to a pinpoint location or an actual office building if we needed to. But that's not really what this is designed to do. This is designed to kind of reach people as they're engaging in full episodes of TV. So, any other questions? No? Okay. Well, I'll hang out for a little while. I have cards. Oh, we got to do a drawing. We got to do our drawing. Awesome. Thank you.